Chapter 58. Well, then, Dr. Mew said through Broly's mouth, spreading his arms wide, show me the power of your warrior race. Oh, I intend to. Vegeta kept his aura burning bright, sliding one foot back as he shifted to a half-crouch, like a sprinter on the starting line. Gohan, you ready for one more opponent? Goku grinned at the prospect of taking on Broly again. I think so. Gohan steeled himself. I'm so tired from all this fighting, we're almost done. I have to keep going. They're both so calm, I won't be the only one to back down. As one, the Scions charged into battle. Anyone outside, not that there was anyone outside, would have seen Broly enter the tower, then noticed everything go mysteriously quiet for a few minutes. Then, without warning, they'd have been bowled over by the enormous shockwave that rolled out from inside, shattering the foundations and collapsing the entire structure. At this point, had this imaginary person had any sense, they'd have run for their lives, thus not remaining around to observe that. Even as the building crumbled around the four combatants, they continued their battle unheeding of the destruction surrounding them. They flew through dust clouds, punched straight through falling chunks of rock to reach their enemy, and flared up their auras to melt any broken machinery or twisted metal columns that came too close. Dr. Mew was finding it difficult to adjust to Broly's large body, on top of which, the three Super Scions were extremely hard to keep track of. They whirled around him like golden flies, landing stinging blows from every angle. Not that it was easy for them, either. Every few seconds, the Scion Tuffle hybrid would catch one of them and send them flying with a mere flick of his wrist. His ki lit up the air around him, illuminating the faces of his opponents as they buzzed around him. The power flowing through this body, it's exhilarating. If this is what Scions feel like all the time, no wonder they love to fight. Goku flew up from behind, grabbing Mew's head in both hands and pulling it backwards, dragging him off balance and obscuring his view of the other two. Vegeta soared in from in front, kicking into Mew's stomach with both feet and winding him. As he staggered away, Gohan appeared above him, landing a solid two-fisted blow to his head. Growling with frustration, the scientist-turned-warrior fell onto his back, limbs flailing. Seething, he jerked upright, glaring at the three fighters arrayed in front of him. RR? Heh, is that all you can do? Vegeta shook his head. I guess it's for the best. I don't know how much longer I can maintain Super Saiyan 2. Another few minutes should be all we need to finish you. Hiya! Rapidly powering up again, he vanished, appearing behind Mew. The Tuffle spun, crossing his arms and blocking Vegeta's kick, but Goku and Gohan sprung into action behind him. They dived forwards, grabbing one huge leg each and pulling him over. Vegeta circled round above, arcing down towards Mew, both fists extended. Enough of this! The parasite screamed, throwing out all of his ki in one burst, flattening the wreckage of Reichi's tower and blasting the Scions away from him. Surprised at his own power, he looked down at his hands, crackling with energy. Did I do that? Those three overcame Hachiyak, and I just tossed them aside like ragdolls. This fighting body, augmented with our greatest technology, just how powerful have I become? Goku rolled over onto his back, groaning. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark tomorrow. If we survive today, that is, Vegeta grumbled, picking himself up and wiping a streak of blood off his face. Where did that come from? He hasn't displayed power anything like that until now. I think. Gohan hopped over the broken ground towards his father. He's just getting used to Broly's body. And whatever he did when he made Broly his permanent host, it's increased his power a lot more than we expected. That explosion just now. He broke off at the sound of approaching footsteps, looking around and raising his guard. This battle is over, Mew growled. Face retribution, monsters. Monsters? Walk! Goku took a knee to the face, managing to keep his footing and dodge the next blow. You heard me. Mew shrugged off several quick punches from Gohan, punching him down to the ground and several meters into it. All you Scions know how to do is destroy. We had a thriving, enlightened society, and you tore it all down. Now look what you brought us to. He stepped left, avoiding an energy blast Vegeta threw, then kicked the prince away into the air with casual ease. The four of us, the last of our kind, still fighting this same damn war. Beings out of legend, all of us, barely recognizable as Scions and Tuffles. He paused as the Super Scions dragged themselves up, slowly circling him. It won't end until either you all die, or I do. Look. Gohan raised his hands, attempting to reason with the scientist. I wasn't even born when this happened. Neither me or my dad was involved. I was raised on Earth as one of them. We've never fought for our own gains, or selfish destruction. I understand your hate, but we're not the ones who destroyed your people. Please, let's end this senseless violence. Vegeta almost burst with anger. What is this nonsense? Did you get hit in the head once too many times, child, or are you always this stupid? This, he indicated the Mew-possessed Broly, is our enemy. The enemy of our forefathers. I can't believe you would even consider a truce, you coward. He wasn't finished, but before he could continue, he felt Goku's hand on his shoulder. You're the only coward here, Vegeta. Vegeta's eye twitched. Explain yourself, Kakarot. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, everyone here's life is forfeit. Don't you feel it? Your lust for battle? How can you back down? Of course I want to fight. But, even more than that, I want my son to live. You know that if this fight goes on, we'll most likely all die. You'd pretend you can win, you'd feed your own ego, refuse to accept a peaceful alternative, even if it means losing your brother? Are you that selfish? Don't lecture me, clown. You're right about one thing, you weren't raised as one of us. You could never understand. You low-class scum, I'm different from you. I'll become as strong as I need to be. You know. Mew interjected, flexing his arms. I doubt you'd be making such offers, Earthling, if our position was reversed. Admit it, you just want me to spare your bloodthirsty skin, right? That's not true. Gohan insisted. My dad would never. Could you? Mew shouted. Could you face down the race that destroyed your own, knowing you could have your revenge, knowing it would be easy, could you let them live? Not only could I have. Goku thought back to his meeting with Frieza. A relative of Frieza, that's the being who almost wiped out the Scions, is now one of my closest friends. I have no argument with you, Doctor. Let's end this. You know, at first I was angry, knowing you sheltered the spawn of Frieza, Vegeta said, cutting him off. But when I think about it, it's just the kind of crap I'd expect from you, you really are insane. He pointed at Mew. There will be no peace between us. Of course not, Mew said quietly. Perhaps, if I was the man I once was, I could have walked away. Two of you are, after all, innocent of this crime. But I am too far down this road to turn back. I will kill you. All of you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Vegeta fired up his ki, raising his fists. Understand this, I don't care what you've become, I was born to fight. You're no match for me, I am the Prince of Scions. What are you? Mew was abruptly sent flying as Vegeta catapulted himself forwards, landing a lightning-fast haymaker. He chased after Mew, flying up next to him and spinning around for an elbow strike. Mew dropped to the floor, pushing against it and kicking up into Vegeta's back, knocking him out of his flight path and to the floor next to the parasite. Mew slammed his enormous hand down on top of Vegeta, trapping him against the ground. That hurt. It hurt. Where did you get such strength? In answer, Vegeta threw out a wave of ki directly upwards, pushing himself down and drilling into the ground, disappearing from sight. Where? Mew wondered, looking around. Hit him, Gohan! Hurrah! Two golden energy beams lanced towards Mew as the Earth-raised Scions rejoined the fight. Mew dodged Gohan's, but the move put him right in front of Goku's. He brought one hand up, catching it and compressing it into a shimmering energy ball. Impressive. But if you were trying to distract me from Vegeta, you won't. Take this. Vegeta burst up out of the ground, scattering rocks in all directions. Making a gun shape with the thumb and index finger of one hand, he pointed it at Mew, who realized with a start that he was still holding Goku's potentially unstable energy blast. Vegeta grinned. Bang! A small energy bullet shot out from his fingertip, hitting the energy still in Mew's hand and detonating it, the explosion engulfing his form. Vegeta wasted no time, rushing towards the expanding smoke cloud. Tell me, Doctor, have you ever fought someone truly relentless? Someone who will fight to their last breath, when no effort, no sacrifice is beyond them? If you want to stand up to me. He swung a fist right at the center of Mew's key signature. You'd better throw away everything. You know. As he became visible, it became apparent that Mew was simply standing in a passive stance, slightly cinched, Vegeta's fist having glanced harmlessly off his chest. I can't tell if I'm simply finally accessing my full power, or your attacks really are getting weaker. I suppose it matters little. He swung his arm down with deceptive speed, backhanding Vegeta away. Now, you tell me. His outline faded, and he appeared in front of Goku, stamping his left foot down on the warrior and smashing him into the ground. How far can willpower take you? Gohan charged him, drawing back his arm, and Mew simply launched himself backwards, smashing into Gohan and crushing him against a pile of rubble. How far can you go, when your mind is willing but your body is falling apart around you? Stubbornness, sheer determination, will only get you so far, with nothing left to support it. Suddenly, he stumbled backwards, realizing Gohan wasn't there anymore. The young Super Saiyan shifted into view directly in front of Mew, fists and feet already flying. Mew squinted, enduring the blows as one with the beating of a strong wind, then reached up and punched Gohan squarely in the gut, the speed giving him no time to dodge. Gasping for air, Gohan sank to the ground and collapsed, his hair changing back from gold to black as he fell still. I'll be back to finish you, once I've taken care of the other two. Ah, speak of the devil. Devil? Goku said, as he and Vegeta landed opposite Mew. That's a bit harsh. You must know by now that I've always hated you Scions, squatting in your caves and despoiling everything we created. Just as I hated your people, cowering behind your machines, Vegeta said wearily. Now, let me finish what my father started. Vegeta, we can't just keep charging him blindly. Goku warned. We're getting pulverized here. We need a strategy. Save it, Kakarot. I'm through listening to you. Vegeta leapt once more at his foe, roaring a battle cry. Vegeta, no! Damn it! Seeing there was nothing else for it, Goku charged after the prince to try and help. 27 seconds later. The two Scions crashed to the ground next to each other, taking heaving breaths and coughing up blood. Told you, that wasn't gonna work. Goku hissed. Hold it, do you feel different? Vegeta rubbed his head, struggling to keep his eyes open. Something missing? Wait, yeah. Goku blinked. Ah, your Super Saiyan 2 aura's gone. Vegeta groaned. Yours too. We've lost too much power, we can only sustain the first level of Super Saiyan at this point, and even that won't last very long. Damn it. Now what's to stop baby, Mew, from controlling us, too? Actually, that's one thing you won't have to worry about. They looked up to see Mew floating down towards them. Having taken a main host in Broly, I can't simultaneously possess anyone else. Which means, incidentally, that I don't know whether, Tarbal, was it, survived the tower collapsing. Probably, you Scions do have strong constitutions. I suppose I'll have to blast the whole area when I'm done to be sure. Or maybe I'll just destroy this whole thing, it is only an uninhabited moon. No one else here to harm. It's becoming increasingly clear. Vegeta forced his legs to straighten, standing up to the Tuffle creation with some effort. That I'm going to die here. But one thing I'll never do, is give up. I'm not going down without a fight, you understand? Oh, I understand you very well, Vegeta, Mew said, almost casually. You're really quite a simple person, when you get down to it. You stopped surprising me quite a while ago. Well, I'll just have to try harder then, won't I? Vegeta pushed his ki as high as he could, forcing it all down into his hands, which started to shine with golden power. No matter how much you beat me down, one thing will never break, my pride. If I am to die, it won't be with you triumphant over my corpse. I'll choose the manner of my death, not you. He brought his hands up and together in front of him, palms held out towards Mew. The Tuffle laughed. What are you going to do? With that little energy left? It's enough, Vegeta growled, as the gathered energy grew more intense. Enough for one final attack, RRR. He released it, launching the massive two-handed energy wave. Final flash. The golden light almost enveloped Mew completely, but he managed to raise his hands to block in time, holding back the attack. HRG. Impressive, Vegeta, but not enough. Even at full power, your strongest attack wouldn't have been enough to kill me. Kakarot. Don't just stand there. Vegeta said through gritted teeth. Help me, damn it. Goku was momentarily stunned. Vegeta is asking for help? My help? Hey, alright. He stepped up next to Vegeta. Kamehameha? His energy flared blue, then red, as he fired the powered-up beam. Times 10. Aff! Mew had to move one hand over to block both beams at once. Is this your best? Truly, I'm surprised that you have such power left, but it's futile. Damn it all, Kakarot, is that all you can do? Vegeta yelled over the roar of flowing power. 10 times your power, and you can't even overwhelm his defenses with my help? Sorry, I'm trying my hardest. Goku grunted. But without Super Saiyan 2, my power's cut in half, not to mention all this fighting's left me really drained on top of that. He closed his eyes, pushing his energy out with all of his might, but to no avail. It's almost enough, but not quite. If we only had a little more power. Vegeta took a deep breath. Kakarot, I'd never admit this to you, but for all your failings, I respect you as a warrior. As great a fighter as me, perhaps greater. And on top of that, you have something to live for. Your family, your friends, your home, whereas I've got nothing to lose. And that's why I won't ask you to do what I'm about to. I've always lived only for myself, fought only for myself, I'm the only one who should have to die for my own goals. You know. Goku said, his voice strained, oblivious to Vegeta's thoughts. Usually, around this time, some kind of miracle happens, like, maybe Gohan will hit him from behind. Or Tarbal. Or maybe some of my friends followed me. There will be no miracle. Vegeta gritted his teeth. It's down to us. Just let me do what I must, farewell. What? Vegeta, no. Don't. Hiya. Vegeta's final flash attack, already beginning to dim, suddenly flared up, burning with the light of a star as he began to pump his very life force into the blast. Vegeta, you'll die. Goku shouted, though he knew they'd all die otherwise. What? Mew gasped. What is this power? Rhea. Feeling his enemy's defenses weakening, Vegeta poured everything he had into it, desperately pushing himself past the limits of his endurance. No, Gaia. Mew screamed as Broly's body began to warp and melt under the immense heat and pressure. No, I cannot be denied, my revenge. I'm not going to hell alone, Mew. Aya. He's done it. He's broken Mew's guard. Goku thought. Just one final push. Kamehameha, times. He felt his energy flicker, almost completely running dry. Times 11. More. I need to finish what Vegeta started. 12. That word, and the accompanying explosion of power, was the last thing Goku remembered before blacking out. Oh, my head. Goku sat up slowly, feeling the all-too-familiar sensation of a body pushed past its tolerance for pain. Okay, stand up. Find out who's alive, come on, body, I'm not asking you to fight anymore, just to stand up. Left leg, works. Right, too. That's a start. He lurched to his feet. Left arm's good, ooh. Right arm isn't feeling so good. Careful not to move that one too much. Not Super Saiyan anymore, not that that's a surprise. He saw Gohan a few meters in front of him, chest slowly rising and falling. Still alive. Good. Chi-chi'd kill me if, Gok. Vegeta. Goku staggered over to the other Scion's drained body, vision spinning with the rapid movement. He crouched down next to Vegeta. Hey, how you doing? Kakarot. Vegeta's shaking hand reached up and clutched Goku by the front of his ripped shirt. How long? Goku knew what he meant. Minutes, maybe. You've almost lost all your energy, and what you do have is fading fast. I'm sorry, if I was stronger, you wouldn't have had to. Listen. Just shut up and listen, for a minute, clown. A rasping cough racked his body. You are the last. The last full-blood scion. I know, you weren't raised as one of us, but you've always known. In your heart, you're a warrior. A true Super Saiyan. Goku was genuinely shocked by this display of emotion. Vegeta. When you, remember, don't hate me, or think me a fool, for putting my pride above all, even, the life of my brother. I wish I could tell him not to speak, that he's just killing himself faster, but it's too late for him now. Goku listened intently. These are his last moments, and I'm not going to tell him how to spend them. Vegeta seemed to regain some strength for a moment, his eyes lit by an inner fire. My pride may seem inconsequential to one as selfless as you, but you live your life in slavery. Watch your race dwindle to nothing, extermination your reward for your faithful service, then tell me, what's meaningless? A trickle of blood ran down his chin from the corner of his mouth, staining the ground beneath him. I am what I am, because Frieza made me so. Perhaps it simply wasn't in me to be a good man, but I never got the chance to find out. His eyes glazed over, and he seemed to be fading, but his iron will kept him going. He wasn't finished. His grip on Goku's shirt tightened, as did his mental grip on his last precious seconds. I understand, Goku said solemnly, nodding. I know how hard it must be for you to say things like this. Just, promise me this, Kakarot. Vegeta continued, his whole body beginning to tremble. Wherever your life takes you, remember who you are. Carry forth the honor of the Scions. You must have known, from the first time you transformed, if you lose that damn sentimentality of yours. He drew in a deep, shuddering breath. You might just be the greatest of us, that's what it takes to win. Ruthless, that's how we beat the Tuffles today. Goku waited patiently, respectfully. Yeah, we got them. And never, never. With a final surge of energy, his hand released Goku and slammed into the ground, fingers digging into the rock. Never forget.